This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com. You know, I'm a very big Gorka Morka fan, so when they said Speed Freaks, I said, oh wow, we're getting Gorka Morka, only they're changing the name of it. Well, no, we didn't get Gorka Morka. We got Speed Freaks, okay? And this is a really unique little game, and I am enthralled with it. I got it today in the mail, and I couldn't wait to start putting it together, especially after I read the entire rule book and went, oh my god, this is fantastic. I started taking some of my older bikes and messing around with it, and I found we've got quite a game. So I started putting everything together, and I can't wait to take you down to the table and have you take a look at Speed Freaks. Alright, we're down to the table. I'm not going to explain every rule. I don't have all the models put together, but I am going to show you some of these cards. And as you can see, the Megatrack Scrap Bike. Okay, these are some of the kits that are going to be out soon. The Custom Booster Blasta. The game comes with this one. You've got a Booma Snazwagon that you can also add a kit. The Dragsta that comes with it. It's actually the piece that we have right here. And of course, we have all kinds of war bikers. Okay, you're going to get one of these vehicles and 3 war bikers to start with. And it's really a neat little system. This is not your dad's Gorka Morka. This is something totally different, and I really like how this all works out. You're going to have 10 of these dice, and in the beginning of the phase, what you're going to do is you're going to decide how many dice that you're going to allocate. 1 to roll initiative, 2 for movement, and then of course for firing. Okay, so you want to break these things up a certain way, and then what'll happen is both sides will reveal, and that's how you'll do it. So for initiative, you would roll, and as you can see, that is a point, and that's 2 points, and that's 1 point. So that would be 3 points, and maybe he only had 1 die rolled. That is considered a miss. So you would get initiative. It depends on how bad you need initiative. This piece here is how you determine firing, okay, the arc. As you can see, this is a front arc, so as long as you are firing in that direction from that angle, and depending on the length. Now let's take a look at this particular vehicle here, the Dragsta, and just talk about it. For armor, okay, when you get hit, say somebody rolls a number of hits on you, you can save those hits. And what you do is you would have to roll 4 dice because you have 4 armor. How many hits your vehicle can take, how many dice you will roll in melee, and then your driving skill. Now your driving skill is very interesting because as you're moving along here, there's usually some terrain and stuff like that and modifiers. And as you move, if you move too far, and speaking of movement, and we'll talk about our driving skill in a minute, but you're going to be moving with these actual pieces. Now this particular piece here, you can move, let's move this out of here, and I don't have this glued down because we're still building this. If I want to move over there, well, of course I'm going to take my vehicle and then move it right over there. Okay, you can use these with 1 arrow as many times as you want for as many different vehicles as you have dice assigned to in a turn. Now you have another piece here that you can only use once per turn. Okay, like this particular one with 2 arrows. You're going to have to be very selective in the pieces that you have. Now this one here, now this little piece of miracle here, this you can only use once per battle, and there's different shape ones. Anything with a 3 and a red, you can only use it once per battle, and then it is gone, and you just can't use it anymore until your next battle. This is almost kind of like a rocket boost. You're using your nitro to get and make a real big move, and they have one that's like a huge curve. Now getting back to driving skill, if you're too close to something or you get hit or something, you're going to add pluses to your driving skill roll. So after every time you move, you're going to roll a d8. Now your driving skill is, yes, an 8, but you start adding in bonuses, and sometimes you can get up to a bonus of 4. You can easily roll. Well, see, I would have passed that one, because it would be 4 and 2 is still under 8. But say I rolled an 8 with a plus 2. That means I went over my driving skill, and what's going to happen is you're going to spin out, and you're going to have to roll on that. And then there is actually a chart in here for driving tests that you are actually going to see where you actually turn and spin off the field. Now, another way to get a bonus is drifting. If you make a move here, all right, and say we just moved here, and then you decide to drift like that, that's going to add to your driving test. So you want to be careful on how many modifiers you get, because you can't put yourself in a predicament where you're totally turned around and getting shot in the rear by your enemy. When you do take damage, well, that's not good, because you're going to add up the certain amount of dice, and there are criticals that are going to give you 2, that are going to do 2 damage, and that's going to do 1. This is a defense shield. This is a total miss. Oh, well, no, that's a miss. And as you can see, there's a couple of hits, 1 critical, 2 shields. And if you roll a shield, that's not going to be a hit either. That's only for defense. But let's just say we got a couple of hits on this vehicle. Well, you're going to draw cards equal to the number of hits. And as you can see, some have critical damage that are going to cause all kinds of things, like this one's going to catch fire. But there's cards that are just going to do damage. Some of these cards in here just, yeah, exactly, crunch. This model suffers 1 damage, and you're going to keep those cards on your card, and once you get up to 9 hits, well, guess what? Goodbye and see you later. That's the end of your vehicle. You do have all kinds of specialized weapons that to use and stuff like that, rocket launchers and custom shock rifles with 12-inch range, and do 2 shots and do an extra 2 damage. And just a lot of really neat different abilities. There's also a way at the end of the round that you can draw a card and get some things that can help you in the next round. So just a really unique and neat system. You get 4 of these boards. This one's opened up all the way. As you can see, this is folded up, and they're double-sided, so you get 2 different type of play areas in this. All I can say is, boy, I got to talk about this when we get up top. So why don't we head up top and talk a little bit more about Speed Freaks. Wow. You hear me say that a lot, but this is one of those times that I can't wait to get the rest of these things put together. I broke out my old bikes and things, and was messing around with it, just trying to figure it out. And I said, is this any good? Is this worth putting together? And I find that I can't wait to paint this and put it together, because this is something special. I really like how it's not Gorka Morka by a long shot, but it has this feel to it that you feel the themes there. The boards are beautiful. The terrain that they give you is beautiful. The models, of course, are beautiful. And the gameplay is simple yet solid. There's enough game and strategic things that go on that just make this a wonderful experience. And I suggest, if you have the means to get this, go out and get Speed Freaks. You're not going to be disappointed. They've got new vehicles coming out. You're going to want to check out. I think you're going to love it. This is a great game. Check it out. You can get it at Miniature Market right now at a great price. There's not much more I can say. Speed Freaks. What a masterpiece. I really, really like it. Simple, fun, you can play with your kids, and that's what I like. Not overly complicated. If GW just keeps doing what they're doing, I'm telling you, you got me back, and you got me back. You sucked me right back in. Well, there you go. Speed Freaks. Check it out. Until next time, it's your old pal Rom. We'll see you soon.